Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Land. I'm your host, Raylene Marks, and without further ado, because it has been a very, very intense weekend, let's take a look at today's top stories. And the top story dominating the media here is what is going on Israel's two borders. So over the weekend, and we've heard a lot of threatening or saber-rattling rhetoric coming from Iran, and Iran demonstrated this by launching drones, killer drones, from Syria using two Hezbollah operatives. Israel destroyed these drones and in response also struck Hezbollah targets in Lebanon. Now, Iran, during this kind of rhetoric, and you can see they're really spoiling for a fight, threatened to use its proxies. And Iran's proxies are Hezbollah to the north of Israel, Hamas to the south of Israel. And they demonstrated this not just by using Hezbollah operatives, rather, to launch these drones. These two operatives have been killed by Israeli airstrikes, but also using their proxies in the south. And we saw this last night with a barrage of rockets fired from the Gaza Strip into Israel, Iron Dome intercepting them and in fact intercepting one of the rockets right over a music festival that was taking place in Sderot on the very close to the border between Israel and Gaza. It is almost the end of summer here. It's very, very hot. Everybody's out enjoying the last bits of summer. In response, Israel struck Hamas targets deep within the Gaza Strip. Now, we've heard from Hezbollah leader Nasrallah, who has threatened the IDF and yesterday warned the IDF to keep its gaze on its northern borders because Hezbollah have been making threats there. So really an intense and very heated weekend for Israelis over the last couple of days. Coupled with this, and this is really tragic news, on Friday, while hiking with her father and her brother in the Dolev area, which is in the West Bank or Judea and Samaria, in a very popular hiking trail, a young 17-year-old Rina Schnurb was killed when Palestinian terrorists threw a bomb at her and her husband and brother. She absorbed a lot of the blast and sadly was killed on impact. Her brother and her father, Rabbi Eitan Schnurb, who is a IDF medic, were evacuated to Jerusalem, to hospitals, and thank goodness they are recovering. And Rina Schnurb, may her soul rest in peace, was buried on Friday afternoon. And our thoughts, our prayers, and our love are with the Schnurb family. We wish Rabbi Eitan and his son Devir Refuah Shlema a speedy recovery, and may the memory of 17-year-old Rina Schnurb be eternally blessed, and may their family know no more sorrow. In other before we get to the other news, just to update you on the situation there, yesterday some of Israel's lawmakers tweeted that the IDF had arrested 3 terrorists responsible for this. However, in a very unusual and rare response, the Shin Bet, the Shabak, actually denied this. And in other devastating news, we are all familiar with the fires that are absolutely obliterating the Amazon forest. The Amazon forest is the lung of the earth, but Israel has offered aid to Brazil. Prime Minister Netanyahu offering President Bolsonaro of Brazil a shipment of flame-retarding chemicals, and President Bolsonaro tweeting that Israel will be sending a specialized plane as well. And it's our hope and our prayers that these fires come under control very quickly. This is one of the most beautiful parts of the earth. It's our lungs, it's our green place, and appeals going out wherever you are to do something green for the planet. Maybe plant an extra tree, maybe contribute funds, do whatever you can to help with these devastating fires. These are the top stories making headlines today, but don't forget you can check out other content online. You can go onto our website www.layoftheland.online and read stories from the Arab world, read stories from Arab journalists who don't get their voices heard in mainstream media. Very, very interesting. This is the one of the ways we get their voices out to the world. And if you can't read it on our website, don't forget you can check out our Facebook page. We post a whole lot of interesting content on Facebook, and while you're there, like us, share us, and invite your friends to like us and share us. Also check out our YouTube channel at the Israel Brief, and while you're there, if you want to, hit on the subscribe button. It's as simple as that. I'm Rolene Marks. These are your top stories. This is the Israel Brief, and we'll chat again tomorrow.